It's maddening. There's junior hires everywhere.
And yes, Katie, we are fine. But now everybody knows where we're going.
Let's just say I heard the truth.
Welcome to episode 11 of a Super Worthless podcast. We're rolling right along with it. It'll be a little bit shorter episode today by 2 minutes. Hopefully, at least. I am exhausted because I just had a long day on Tuesday. And I woke up today. I literally felt like death. I was walking out to my car. I don't think I could walk in a straight line. I was like, I'm like this ugly dude. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I hope they don't have to do some kind of like alcohol test or at work or whatever to be like, hey, are you driving drunk, sir? I'm like, no, officer. I'm gonna be okay. So, I don't know. Oh, I think your day probably solidly went better than mine. Only on that fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, solid. So, all right, so we're gonna hop right into it. I just want to mention how much we don't care about the World Series. Started on Tuesday. I think Boston won at 8-4 or something like that. I don't know what your prediction is.
I don't even know what the score was.
Yeah, exactly. Like my only prediction, I was like LA in 5 or 6. That's what I want. So they would have to sweep the rest of the way. So I'm probably going to say LA is going to win in 6. I just want Boston to lose. That's all I want.
I don't care enough. I don't care who wins or loses.
I hate Boston. I know I have somebody to root against. That's the only thing I've got. Outside of that, that's how much we don't care about the World Series. So, do you want to hit the top 3 right now before we go into some football ranting?
Oh, wow. Sure.
Right off the top of it.
Woo.
So, because I know I slapped you because we forgot about it. You're like, oh, yeah. Do you have one in mind?
I totally forgot.
Yeah, it happens.
But, yeah. I forget what we were going to do. Well.
Interesting.
Well.
I jokingly said that our top 3 water brands. And you said...
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to go with that. Woohoo! All right. Just get that out of the way.
Okay. All right, my top 3 water brands are Water Out the Hose, Fiji Water, and any water that's cold and wet. I don't care. Aquafina sucks, so.
I don't like Aquafina. It tastes like crap. Walmart water's bad too. We could do our top 3 worst. That's an idea. Like our 3 least favorites of something. That's an idea for next time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely say hose water, Nestle, and Gatorade with all the flavoring electrolytes in it. Tastes like water. It's water that's good for you and also not at the same time. So I'm totally cheating. It's a waste of a tough. That's our top 3. Whoa! All right, nailing it this week.
Whoa!
We're like crap. That's what happened. That's what happens when we aren't prepared. Always come prepared, people. Except for college, never study, and you're gonna pass. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. Granted, most of my homework was projects and not paper, because liberal arts schools.
Whoa.
Yeah, really. I had a lot of free time. Actually, I had too much free time because there's stuff that I will never talk about. On the record, off the record, maybe. With parents, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of secrets that I'll never talk about with 90% of the people I'll come across. Probably the same on your end too. It's just college.
I don't do anything with my life, so
if you don't do anything, there's nothing to hide. It's kind of, if you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed, right?
Exactly.
Just like the Browns last year. But we'll just hop into football. So you might have saved yourself hours of agony by not watching the Buckeyes game on Saturday because they hardly ran it. And then I don't know if it's Ryan Day's fault, if it's Urban Meyer's fault, or whatever, but the waste of offensive talent and play calling for the Buckeyes has gone down the drain the last couple of years. Maybe that's just me. We win a national championship and then we just hit the tank. 2 years ago was not bad. Last year, the play calling sucked. This week was just terrible because there was minimal running plays. The wide receivers dropped darn near every single pass that came their way. Like, we're screaming at them like they're just bouncing in and out of their hands, and they're wasting Dwayne Haskins because the dude can throw a dart. And oh goodness, it's just I don't even know how to describe how frustrating it is that he couldn't pass. But then again, and I texted you a screenshot of the stats that I wrote down, some of the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Purdue in their last 8 games against Ohio State is 5-3, which is crazy. I'm like we thought losing to Iowa last year was bad. Purdue just plays Ohio State very well. And speaking of passing, Dwayne Haskins completed 49 passes. Not 49%, 49 passes out of 73 attempts.
What?
Leading rusher was Mark Webber with 9 carries and 45 yards.
Mike Webber.
What did I say?
Mike.
You know, there's an R. It's Pirate Day. No, we're going to forget that.
Yeah,
David Blau. Yeah. Mike Webber, 9 for 45. J.K. Dobbins, 11 for 24 yards. His longest was 6. Dwayne Haskins had 5 for 7 yards. That's our receiving there. Now, what I would like to see on the receiving stats is targets, because KJ Hill had 9 receptions. Paris Campbell had 9. But outside of that, nobody had more than 5. It's like you would think there'd be more yards. Like 470 yards was... He had more passing yards than David Blau from Purdue. But we didn't run the ball. And our defense probably couldn't stop a single brick. Like, if you throw a brick at them, they'd be like, boom, bounce off their helmet, and then it's going to just roll right into the end zone. That's how it felt.
Ugh, man.
I feel that, though. Like, that yawn actually resonated with my soul there. I feel it. But, yeah. So, easy points that I wrote down. Moore and Knox Jr., the running backs for Purdue, those guys are going in the top 2-3 rounds in the NFL, 100%. I don't know what years they are, but they are that good. But aside from that, the Buckeyes couldn't tackle them if they wanted to. Like, they just kind of like, yeah, like they tried. Like a high school team that's like 0-10 at the end of the year, like it's that bad. But those guys are like mini Saquon Barkleys. They're shifty. They are shifty guys. The Buckeyes just, aside from them, they didn't tackle. But, I mean, I just saw in one of the highlights here, just Urban with the surrender cobra. Just his hands on his head. I was like, that was me most of the night. Because that's just how bad they were. But, yeah, I don't know. Wide receivers seem confused. like ridiculously weak in catching, it seemed like, even though they got a ton of stats. But Purdue, they started, let's see what, they're 4-3. They started 0-3, and they've won their last 4. And in those last 4 games, a plus 99 win differential.
Oof.
They're winning by almost 25 points a game. What is that? That video just started playing. What is that? I was like, where did that come from? I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my like audition over here. I'm like, huh?
Huh?
I'm like, that's not on my soundboard. I don't know. I don't know these things. But basically the moral of the story was Buckeyes couldn't tackle. Excuse you. That was weak though. Do better.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's motivation. You got to beat someone down to bring them up. That's why I suck at sports. Kind of like a Buckeyes work on Saturday. It's painful.
Oof.
Yeah. But,
Ope.
yeah, big ope. F in the chat.
Rip.
I'm waiting for it. But after that, I'm not complaining about the Browns receivers ever again. Like, it was...
Nathan_Worth said F.
There we go. Nailed it. So, in that aspect, we're going to go ahead and just ditch the Buckeyes, and we're going to go over to the NFL. Woohoo! Nailed it. It's a perfect intro. Okay, I'm going to cut that off because I don't want to listen to the whole thing. Actually, that was almost over, and I cut it off. I'm not running it again. Forget it. All right. So, quick recap of the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I caught up. Went 10-5. You went 8-7. So that was actually that was only your third worst week, which wasn't bad because you had a 7-8-1 in week 2. But this week we did good, man. 10-4 for both of us. Like those 2 games that we picked differently, we each got one wrong. We're like, oh, like I got one, you got it right. The other one, it's like, okay.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a minor oof. So, when we finished 10-4, that's my lowest loss count and also ties for my highest win count. So trend-wise, I'm trending upwards. But so my 4 losses last week, the Eagles and the Panthers, that's the only game that wasn't decided by a field goal attempt. Not a field goal attempt. Then the Browns. I'm not even mad that we lost that game, only for the fact, like, we played terrible in the first half. Because I know we were texting the whole time. We're like, this was the first time I'm actually, like, leaning towards, like, okay, if Hugh doesn't, I don't know if Hugh's not, like, you'll have to help me out here. What do you think Hugh's the problem, or is Todd Haley the problem? Like, because the play calling on offense, I think, just sucks. I don't know what to diagnose as the problem. Because 2 weeks ago we laid an egg, but this past week,
no discipline.
That's also true.
That's all it is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because there's a lot of dumb penalties. Guys just not putting in effort. It could be discipline, which usually discipline gets blamed on the head coach, right?
Yep.
And Hugh, my mom says this all the time. Hugh, and I noticed it too, because Hugh's really level-headed. Like, he's a nice guy. Like, he's a good coach, but he's not a great coach. Like, he's just kind of like right that middle of the pack. Like, if the dude showed some emotion on the sideline, we might be a little better off. I might be a little bit more like, yeah. But I don't know. Baker didn't play terrible again, which is good, but freaking what's his face for the Buccaneers? They had a kicker that made a field goal to win the game, which is like, did hell freeze over? 50. Because Baker's face is like his jaw's on the floor and his hands on his knees. I'm like, they just kicked a 59-yarder to win. Because I was like, there's no way he's making this.
That's what I thought too, but oh well.
Because it's a Buccaneers kicker. Like they're not supposed to make field goals. Like that position is pointless on their roster because they suck. But man, and then that instantly became a meme, and you shared the one with me. I was like, oh, true. we gonna save that. But the other loss, the Ravens, Justin Tucker, after making every single field goal in his life, misses the one to send the game to overtime. 222 straight. And he misses the one to tie with the Saints. So the Ravens lost. Then the Cowboys missed a field goal. I was like, oof. That was just rough. Oof. I hate when field goals decide wins and losses. Like it comes down to a field goal attempt. That's happened a lot this year. Right. Or is that just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. All right. You ready to hit week 8 with some of the most exciting matchups we've seen all year? Woo. Right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Yeah, wrong. This is... Just blow it up. Done. Forget this week. We're just going to end it now. I would. Like this is terrible. But anyways, let's hit it. Thursday night. Tonight for everybody else that's listening, if they're listening on Thursday, which almost never happens. I'm just shouting myself into the dirt. Dolphins at the Texans. Now, we got some Brocktober. Last edition of Brocktober. Brock Osweiler starting for Miami.
Yeah, not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No, the Texans have got this one in the bag. I'm like, I saw that. I hovered over. I was like, they're both 4-3. How bad can this be? Looked over. 80% of people have the. I was like, oh, geez, Texans. Wow. So that's a thing. But then we go to the greatest defense in the league, the Jaguars. Yeah, take that, Jalen Ramsey.
Oh,
oof!
Yikes!
Hosting the Eagles.
Eek.
I feel like the Eagles are going to win this one by default. What do you get? This one's in London.
I don't know.
London, it's like the Jaguars are technically the home team in London, but that's also like where half of their fans are. They have a lot of London fans.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Eagles crap the bed? Do the Jaguars just not show up? Because I think
the Jaguars are just deflated. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah. They put in Cody Kessler last week and he scored a touchdown. I was like, whoa, he did something. Like he literally rolled out of the pocket and threw a touchdown pass. I was like, he didn't do that in Cleveland. Like, where was that? That didn't happen at all last year. Even when he did come in. That man, I don't know. Maybe just start Cody Kessler in Jacksonville next week. Like they're starting Blake Bortles, but just start Cody Kessler and see what happens. They need to get a quarterback. Blake Bortles, the only thing they got going for him is his girlfriend / are they even married yet? I don't know, but she's hot. Anyways.
Wow.
Well, yeah, look her up. Just telling you. All right. The Panthers. Why? There's so many 3-loss teams this week. Like everybody has 3 losses if you're not one or whatever. I don't know. Ravens are at the Panthers. Do the Ravens have a chance? The Panthers don't look that weak. Last year they looked kind of weak because they were like 6-10. I think. I don't know. See, I haven't made my picks, so just you start shouting stuff because maybe it might convince me one way or the other. I know what the next game is, but
the Bears, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking the Bears, but Ravens, Panthers. I don't know. Maybe the Ravens.
I'm just gonna say Panthers because I feel like Cam Newton's gonna ball. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's just me.
He didn't do too bad. I think the Panthers they'll hit like a bit of a hot streak here and then be like, are they gonna go to the playoffs? Then they'll lose 3 straight, more than likely. So
usually,
yeah. And then everybody loves the Bears defense. I feel like that's the only reason Mitch Trubisky is doing any sort of good is because his defense is covering his butt. Am I the only one that thinks he's not that great yet?
I don't think he's that great. But
Okay.
that's just me.
Okay, so we're kind of on the same page there. Buccaneers against the Bengals. Can the Bengals please kick a game-winning field goal against the Buccaneers? That would just be political justice.
Let's do it. Do
Yep.
it.
I'm picking the Bengals anyways, but that's
Yeah, me too.
that would just be juicy. The sniffles roll on. The Seahawks are at the Lions indoors. Oh man. I don't know how to feel about this one because, again, it's one of those. These teams are so close to 500. Everybody's average right now. I didn't click who I know who's going to win another game, but I'm just looking ahead. just I want to say the Seahawks. Like, I feel like the Lions have a chance at home, but only because they have a chance. I think the Seahawks take it on the road.
Yeah, I agree.
Sweet. All right. I just about skipped past all these games that I just pre-picked. The Broncos are... Hold on. They're at the Chiefs. Do you see the user consensus numbers here?
It's like 95.
And
Yikes. What?
6.
95. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
They have 95 and the Broncos have 6.
What?
That's
What?
101%. Does that mean the game's going to overtime? I'm like, hold on a minute. The math doesn't add up here, feller.
Hold up.
Hold up. Hey. Yeah, the Chiefs are going to run all over him. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes. I almost want to get that What's Up Mahomes shirt. What's up, Mahomies? But What's Up Mahomes? Hey, it's a thing. I'll get it. What's up, Mahomes? Redskins are at the Giants. Jeez. I thought the Giants would be better than this, but they're not.
I didn't.
I mean, like, maybe like by a game or two, not where it's like their whole offense is Eli, not even Eli Manning. Like, Eli Manning's just there to watch. Just hand it off to Saquon Barkley, and their offensive line's terrible, and he never wants to throw to OBJ. So, all right, Alex Smith and the Redskins, you got this one in the bag. Yeah.
Yep.
And now for one of the worst teams in football at the Steelers, Cleveland Browns. Woo! I'm just kidding. It's the Cleveland Browns against the Pittsburgh referees.
That's
saying.
funny. Pittsburgh referees. Lol.
It's gonna happen.
Is this your upset of the week, bro?
Yeah, Browns are gonna upset
Ooh.
the Steelers.
Alright.
So, I don't have an upset button. I don't have an upset cue over here. I gotta work on that. Yeah. Upset of the week. Was nice and loud. Woohoo! You were like, I'm deaf.
Yep.
That's the whole point. It's gonna blast your ears off. That's why I love the cinematic horn 2 sound effect. That's what it says. The Colts are at the Raiders. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm just picking the least worst team. This one is, by the way, the worst game of the week. This is the
No,
poopy
it's
game of the
not.
week.
No, it's not. Look at the game below it. It's
That's
even worse.
true, but I have a minor. I don't know even know if it's a hot take about it. It's just a theory. But anyways, no, I'm only picking the Browns over the Steelers because I don't see Le'Veon Bell coming back. If he somehow shows up, I'm changing my pick because it's just gonna be like it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
I'm riding with Cleveland all day, bro. Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
Hey, just because I'm just saying that's who I think is gonna win. I didn't say I wasn't gonna root for the Browns. I will happily take the L if I pick against them. I will gladly take the L. But I learned last year, don't pick them until you know for sure.
Yeah.
Realism here. Just being real. But no, I took the Colts over the Raiders, right?
Yep.
And so we agreed there because the Raiders are just terrible.
Oof.
Are they going to... Now, here's a theory. Or is it a theory? It's just a question. Will they trade away Derek Carr by the end of the year? Or by the deadline next week? What do you think?
I doubt it.
No.
I don't know.
I feel like they're going to hang on to him until... Then maybe like draft a QB this year, or maybe test him out and like say, hey, who wants him? What if Blake Bortles goes to the Raiders and Derek Carr goes to the Jags?
Oh.
You want to hit up? let's hit up Madden and see if that's possible. Can we switch these and see what happens? That would be an interesting. They would probably still all suck. 49ers at the Cardinals, and understandably, I can see why this game sucks. Yeah. This is another crap. This may be worse than the Colts Raiders. The Colts, Andrew Luck's good. He's just got nobody. So I can understand why this may be worse. Just because the 49ers are just... But what I'm going to say, Josh Rosen's going to go off in this game. Blaine Gabbert ain't got nothing on him. That's my bold take.
Oh, that was funny.
What do you got, man? Tell me why not. Tell me why the Cardinals are going to lose. Tell me why you got the 49ers.
Josh Rosen sucks.
Just because he sucks doesn't mean he's going to play a good game.
Oh, no. Oh, he's not going to go off, bro. Come on.
He's going to go off for 1 touchdown and 200 yards.
Oh, that was funny.
That's it.
That was funny.
He's going to go off compared to what he's had. He's not going to get like 4 touchdowns. Not even close. It's like he's going to go off with a big asterisk right back. Ooh, that's a risky. I'm not going to say that again. A large... No. Darn it.
What's up, Doc?
Okay.
It ain't going to work.
All right, Rams and Packers.
So, all right. Is this... I feel like the Rams are just going to win because they're crazy, but how close is it going to be, though? Do you know what the betting line is on this one?
2 seconds.
Yeah. I have no idea what it would be. Stat-wise, they're all pretty similar.
9.5. Oh, man.
9.5?
9.5 point. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll stick with them. Considering they're second in offense, 7th defense, 7th in passing, and 1st in rushing because Gurley.
Todd Gurley. Yep.
Dude's the new beast mode. Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. It's not even
close.
Not even close. Dude's probably one of the best in the league. All right. We got the Saints at the Vikings. Wasn't this the NFC? No, it wasn't the NFC.
Minnesota Miracle?
Yeah, they played. It was against the Saints, right?
I think. I don't know, actually.
You know what? Let's look. Okay, hold on. It was a 2017 NFL playoff. I was deciding what I wanted to look up. The Minnesota Miracle was against New Orleans. And then they went and pooped the bed against Philly. It wasn't even close. 38-7. And then New England. Yeah. So, please tell me that came out the top, right?
Yes.
All right. That's good. All right, what is this? Oh, that was weird. Okay, I'm not scrolling down that far on that page ever again. I think the Saints have a chance on the road, but the Vikings are at home.
Oh.
Indoors. They're both indoors teams, though, so.
Mm.
It is a nice stadium and nice new stadiums and loud fans that can play. What do you think of Case Keenum? He's not in this, and the Vikings at home. I don't know. This is what goes through my mind when I'm actually like thinking about it. What kind of stats we got here? Kirk Cousins has 2,000 yards on the year. Murray 330 yards. Completion. You know what? Can we get full stats here, please? This page sucks. Hold on. Maybe if I go over to the team news. There we go. That's terrible. Latavius Murray. Yeah, only 69 rushing attempts for 330 yards. He's only got 300 yards on the year? Maybe that, you know what? I think I'll take the Saints. I think Alvin Kamara might be the difference in this one.
Yeah, I had the Saints pick from the jump.
Oh, so you almost teased. You're like, maybe I did pick the Vikings. Maybe I might take the Vikings.
Maybe.
You're like, no, this is all a ruse.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sunday night, man. You never know what could happen on Sunday night. All I know is I'll be at the Crew game because the Browns, by the way, Browns are helping save the Crew. It's not official yet, but they're going to stay for now. It's the Haslam family and some Columbus businesses are pitching in, so I just want it to be official, so I don't have to be like, yeah, we saved the Crew, and then they do inevitably end up moving. Inevitably. I couldn't spit it out. I'm like, think about it for a minute. All this to lead up to the fact that I'm probably going to miss part of the Browns game. So, well, I mean, we're going to be somewhere where we can watch the game, I think. Hopefully I can watch it on the road. If not, we're listening to it, which I have no problem with. But, yeah, so don't... that's just a little note. Don't text me, did you see that? Be like, no. I did not.
I have to work all day, so most likely not.
Oh, okay. Ooh, ouch. That hurt. So, yeah, I just hit my knuckle on my... I don't know what I was just like... Boom. It's right on my stand. It hurt. So, I don't know. This will be an interesting game for Browns Steelers on Sunday. Like, I'm looking forward to it, but, of course, it's going to rain, so it's going to go to overtime again. But maybe if the Browns couldn't catch before, maybe the rain, now that they're playing with Baker, maybe they're going to catch it.
Maybe.
Just maybe. A little bit of, I think reverse psychology might help them in this case. It's possible. But all this to avoid Monday Night Football because it's the Patriots at the Bills, and the Patriots are going to win because it's the Patriots.
Yep.
Like, it's really not.
Literally no.
Not even a.
Yep.
It's not debate. There's nothing to say about it because the Bills just suck. I think they're starting Derek Anderson again, and he didn't help them last week.
97% of people think the Patriots are the
That's what are the experts saying? Have they picked yet? Nope, they haven't picked yet. Oh, yeah, we can look at the expert picks and see who they chose. I forgot about that. But we can't ever tell because it's Sundays. NFL Fantasy Live, maybe? Has anybody made their picks yet? I don't know, because it hovers over NFL Fantasy. Oh, you can see fan consensus votes, I think. Game day morning? Do they have a... I'm going to have to look at that. Because I'm going to have to... Rich Eisen podcast. Who's he have? Texans, Eagles, Panthers. Okay, well, it says Steelers. So, that's going to be my thing. It's looking... Does Rich Eisen have the Lions at home? It looks like we're picking pretty much along the lines of everybody else, or maybe that's just the fan consensus. I don't know. Hi, puppy. The dog came in to say hi. Everybody say hi to Cleveland.
Cleveland. Oh.
He said hi. Nate said hi. All right, go to bed, pup. Yes, Night. Featuring mom as well. Just popping in. It's like, what's up? Uh-oh. My brother just tagged me saying that dad got flagged by the scanner going into the Cavs game, I think.
Yikes.
Like the metal detectors? That's fun. Have you ever been pulled to the side by a metal detector? That's one last thing we'll hit here. Have you ever been stopped by a metal detector?
I don't know.
I don't think I ever have, because it's
know.
usually you just take it says like to only take certain things out of your pocket. I just take everything and put it in whatever hat I wore to the game.
Yeah, that makes
especially with
sense.
the Indians. I'm like, Mom said, yeah, he looks like a shady character. Go, Mom! Throwing shade at Dad. I'm just kidding. I like Dad. I'm pretty much like my dad. So, all right. So, did we pick anything different other than the 49ers and Cardinals game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm okay with having that game different because there's going to be some upsets. I'm going to say we're all going to miss 5 games. Not really.
Huh.
That's the one thing we have to be careful of going forward is upsets, because we're at that point in the year where everybody's the same. The obvious pick is obviously never obvious. Because
Yep. Obvious picks are never obvious.
yeah, we're like, yeah, the Bengals are totally going to win. And then the Buccaneers just come in and kick a game-winning field goal. Or the Jaguars actually play defense. Like, that could be a thing. Brock Osweiler could actually play football. Like, he might know how to throw the ball. I don't know. The one sure lock
I don't know.
is that Patrick Mahomes is going to win. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my bandwagon. There's no point in me hopping off my bandwagon.
I'm on my own bandwagon. What?
I'm not doing it. I'm staying here. But if the Browns lose on Sunday, 100%, I'm going to start being real, because they don't have a chance next week against the Chiefs. It's not happening. I'm going to go ahead and save that right now. The Browns are losing to the Chiefs next week. That's all. I've already locked in week 9 pick. Number 1. So, all right. I think we're doing pretty good here.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. It's getting juicy, though, because I'm up to 4th on the leaderboard, and you're currently for this week, you're a king of the group. You're like, for now. Oh. Let's see. Week 7. Yeah. Technically, it says we tied, and I had had the best week, but I'm like, we had the same. I don't know how that's decided. I'm 60 points behind you. 10 wins gets an extra 20 bonus points, or 30. So, all right. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and kill the soundboard there because we don't need it anymore. But, all right. Thanks, Nate. Enjoy your workout. Or,
Woo.
yeah, just break a leg, right?
No.
You're like, no, it's leg day. Is it leg day? Huh?
I don't know what today is.
Oh. I don't know. I don't work out, so you'll have to tell me about that sometime. Maybe that's something we'll talk about in the next podcast. Working out. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? There we go. We'll get into some. So, I don't work out, and I'm perfectly fine. I can do everything everybody else can do except lift 500 pounds. I got leg muscle. That's it. I just don't have upper body strength because, I played soccer. I can kick balls. Don't have to throw a metal pipe at somebody. So that's for next time. We'll also actually have a top 3 next time. So maybe.
Yeah, I'll think of one the next time. I just totally forgot. Whoops.
Yeah, it happens. It's one demerit. You still pass your driver's test though, so you're good. You've made it 11 episodes. We haven't quit yet. We have to at least get through the NFL season before we decide to take a break. That's a thing. Maybe in the playoffs we'll go every week, but we'll see. So, alrighty, it's time to go. So, join us next time. Be sure to follow us on our social medias. Listen audio only through YouTube Red if you actually pay for it, because that's how you can listen audio only. If not, thanks for watching our voices, because that's how YouTube works. Right? I'm going to have a Pixel 3 hopefully by the next episode, and then we'll talk about phones, because you recently got your iPhone, and I'll talk about my Pixel 3.
Yeah.
So, lots of things to look forward to.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Go Browns, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.